Hello everyone, this is Gage from Gondorian Smith, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys another Third Age Reforged on a multiplayer battle replay. And this one is actually on the 0.95 patch, which has been officially released, so if you guys have not downloaded that, I would highly encourage you to do so, because it is incredibly fun. Unfortunately, I have not been able to play it a whole lot since the official release, just because I've been somewhat busy and my internet has just been absolute trash. I'm trying to get that fixed. Hopefully, we'll get actually fixed later today. So if that is the case, then I'm going to be very happy, because I'll be able to actually take part in some of these battles instead of just having to kind of rely on people that send me the replays. But again, thank you to Lord of Belgast for sending me this replay, because like I said, I do not actually have any at the moment that are very big. But again, I should mention that this actually is a pretty large battle. This is a 3 versus 3, not a good versus evil, but just a standard multiplayer battle. But nevertheless, it is still a very entertaining one. So without any further ado, I guess we will go ahead and start off into the army compositions, beginning with Lord of Belgast. And I should also mention, before we go any further, that I will be kind of having a small channel update kind of at the end of the video. Just I want to talk about a few things. But anyway, without any further ado, we'll go ahead into the army composition. So Lord of Belgast, in his very layered formation here, he's got 2 units of Minas Gurithalan swordsmen. Not a bad sword and shield unit, however they do have somewhat low morale because they are, of course, the Cardinal units. Behind them, he's got 4 units of the Greenwatch Garrison Spearmen, just a low-tier kind of fodder unit that Cardinal can field in large numbers. And it's not bad either against cavalry, because they are spearmen who have a pretty nice bonus against cavalry. So holding the line, they should do okay at, especially if they are backed by these Minas Gurithalan swordsmen. Behind them, he's got 2 units of Minas Gurithalan sharpshooters, who are of course a crossbow unit. They have a nice shield bonus and some good plate armor to protect them from any incoming arrows. They also pull out a mace in melee along with their shields. They actually are AP in melee, so they're a very cost-effective unit. But again, like the other Cardinal units, they do have somewhat low morale. Behind them, he's got a unit of AP Aaron Vorn Axemen. Maybe 2 of them actually. And behind that, or next to them, he's got 1 unit of the Dunedain captains with their very nice looking armor upgrades. If you give them the armor upgrades, this is what they look like. They look very cool. And I do have to say that I'm a huge fan of the dark green capes there, as well as the plate armor. It looks very nice. But again, these guys, unlike the rest of the Cardolan, well, most of the Cardolan forces, these guys actually do have very high morale, and they actually do inspire the units around them, which is why Cardolan doesn't kind of just like rout off the field immediately. But again, anything that is fear-inspiring will prove quite troublesome to Cardinal if they do not have any inspiring units around them as well. Anyway, behind them, he's got 1 of the Minotaur Roman Guardians, who I believe were previously known as the Forge Gatekeepers, because you can see they do actually have the same kind of halberd thing that they do pull out in melee, so they do have a bonus against cavalry. And then behind them, he's got his General's unit, which is that of the Hearthguard of Ammon Sul. These guys are very cool looking. I'm a big fan of their purple capes and shields. I like just kind of everything about them. They are, of course, low in numbers, but they are very deadly at range and not bad in melee. They do pull out spears and shields, which means that, well, they're not going to be quite as effective against infantry. They actually will not. They actually will do a very good job against cavalry. So you have to be very careful when you're trying to run these guys down with pretty much any kind of cavalry, because they will. Because the Hearthguard, along with the Minotaur Roman Guardians, will definitely make the cavalry pay for charging into them. Over here, he's got his 3 units of cavalry, which is 2 units of the mercenary cavalry, which are, of course, the pretty much just there to ward off any other enemy cavalry. They don't have a great charge bonus, but then again, that is because they are melee cav. However, they do very well against other cav, especially lancers. And then over here, he's got his last unit of cavalry, which is the Tharbad Riders, who are also very nice looking. I like the green color. Cardinal just has a lot of really cool looking units. Up here on the hill, he does have 1 unit of Trebuchet, which, as you can see, already firing. So this should be very nice for kind of forcing his enemy to come towards him. And then over here, way back on this hill, he's got 2 units of the Guathlo Trackers. I believe these guys are they're like a pretty low tier archer unit, but I'm not sure if they're rangers, because if they are considered rangers, that means they are AP, so they will be able to do a great deal of damage to anything lightly armored, which will serve him quite well if those Guathlo Trackers are able to fire, because the lightly armored elves of Lorien, whom he is fighting against, oh man, who he is fighting against, will not be able to stand to that fire very well. However, because the Lorien archers are also very good, those Guathlo Trackers will suffer quite grievously from any returning skirmish fire, just like any other ranger units. But anyway, over here we'll go to Lord of Belgast's first ally. He's got 1 unit, the person commanding Harad is Fabulous Rug. He's got 1 unit of Haradrim Spearmen, 2 or 3 units of South Run Archers. Behind him, he's got 2 units of the South Run Warband, like 8 attack, 6 defense, something like that. But they are AP. but they are, of course, very lightly armored and very susceptible to missile fire. Then over here, he's got 2 units of the Muhad Warriors, who are kind of like the standard sword and shield unit that Harad was definitely lacking in .91. They are still lightly armored, however, the shield will help them. The big shield will be able to help them withstand a decent amount of skirmish fire. Behind them, he's got 3 units of Southron Pikemen, who are an AP pike, so very, very good. However, they are lightly armored, which is why he has them in the far back here, so he doesn't want them to get shot right away. On his flank, he's got his general's unit of the demons. Wait, maybe that's not the general's unit. He's just got some demons of the desert here. He's also got 2 units of trollmen of Harad back there. Yes, this is actually where his general is. You can see the Harad general did have kind of a cool, does kind of have a cool new skin, and he could also have some cavalry around here, but I don't know for sure because he could also have like some Hashari or some Hashari stalkers who can hide anywhere, as well as the mounted Hashari stalkers. I don't think they're called that, but still, they can hide anywhere. Anyway, the final ally for this, for Lord of Belagast is right here. It is Donovan commanding the Kingdom of Arthedain. Right in his front line, he's got 3 units of Arthedain arms with both armor upgrades. Behind him, he's got like 3 units of the Fornost Erain Defenders, who are just basically the spear and shield variant of the Arthedain men-at-arms. Over here, he's got 1 unit of civilians who are like not bad for a fodder unit. Obviously, they're going to get shot to death pretty much instantly, but they are AP surprisingly enough, so they can do some damage if well supported, I guess. Over here, he's got 3 units of Arthedain marksmen. Looks like they all only have 1 armor upgrade instead of the 2, but I could be wrong about that. And back here, we've got his cavalry, which is 1 unit of Fornost Erain Knights and 1 unit of the Royal Court of House Amlaith, which is where his general is. So we'll now go over to the other team. The first of which is Isengard, being commanded by Samwise the Brave. He's got 2 units of the Uruk-hai archers. Behind him, he's got like 3 or 4 units of the Denlanding veterans, who are not AP, just like most one-handed axes. Well, maybe all one-handed axes. They're not AP, but like all one-handed axes, they do have a higher attack value than most sword and shield units. He's got 1 unit of Denlanding clansmen, 1 unit of the Trolls of the White Hand, who excel at taking out enemy cavalry, as well as just doing other kind of troll things. Also, their massive shield here will help them with withstand any archer fire. Over here, he's got 2 units of the Warg Riders, who are, of course, very good anti-cavalry units. Not a great charge, but still, they are not bad against other cavalry. They also can get skirmish done relatively well, but they do have 2 hit points to kind of compensate for their very low armor. Over here, he's got 2 units of the Urk Reavers, which is just a AP 2-handed like axe kind of unit. Again, lightly armored, so they can get skirmish done quickly. You just have to be very careful with them. And then back here, we've got some Champions of the White Hand, who are another ferocious anti-cavalry unit. Isengard has a lot of answers to cavalry, which is unsurprising considering their main enemy is Rohan, who excels in pretty much all things cavalry. But again, these guys are also very, very cool looking, I must say. Their 2-handed swords look very, very deadly. And like all 2 other, I think like most, yeah, if not all 2-handed cavalry units, they do have a cool new animation, being a 2-handed cavalry, wielding a 2-handed weapon on a ward. Anyway, sorry about that. Back here, he's got some standard Nazg High, looking very spiffy in their armor. They're basically just the upgraded, more trained version of these Uruk-hai Berserkers who are here with the wargs. And something I should mention, the Berserkers are much more expensive now, and you can only bring 1 of them, however they are still very deadly. And another thing that's actually kind of cool about them is you can actually give the Uruk-hai Berserkers 2 armor upgrades. And if you give them both of them, they actually have the same unit model as these Nazca here, so that's something kind of cool to note. Over here, we'll now go to the next army, that being Dale, being commanded by Happy Eagle. So he's got, his front line consists of 2 units of Barding Herd, flanked on either side by some Swordmasters of Karnan. Yeah, Karnan. And then his second line consists of 2 units of Earls of Esgaroth, being backed up by a couple units of Light Town Infantry. Behind them are the Blackshot Dragon Slayers, which is where the general is, and their wind lances, their wind lance bows are looking very nice right there. And he's also got 1 catapult and 2 units of these horse guards, who I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that first part of their name. And then right up here in the front, he does have 2 units of Dalian marksmen. I don't know if he just kind of forgot that he left them out here, but he does have mistakes, and he will run them back to his own lines pretty quickly. A surprisingly few amount of archers from Dale, but then again, he could have some hidden Othello Rangers around here somewhere as well. We'll now go to the final army, and then we'll go ahead and start the battle off. That is the realm of Lothlorien, being commanded by Rise Zalik. Sorry about that, but anyway, Lorien actually is probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite elven factions currently in the game. Just I really like how they look, and I really like their playstyle. The only thing that they really lack, in my opinion, as of now, is cavalry. Well, because they can field some very, very deadly cavalry, like these Lothlorien Mounted Company. I think they can only field a max of 3 units of cavalry before any price increases, but still, that is how it's supposed to be. Anyway, right here you can see his first unit is that of these Sindar archers, who, while they are still deadly, are not quite as deadly as the last patch. Behind them he's got 3 units of the Sylvan spears, who are like 550 florins and not bad at all for a light spearman unit. However, they can get skirmished on pretty quickly, and because you can see that you don't have very good armor. They do have a nice shield, but still you have to be careful with them. Behind them he's got some Galadrim nobles, which is where his general is. They probably aren't maybe as deadly as the Sindar archers at range, but they are very, very good in melee. Behind them he's got 2 units of the Lothlorien blades, which is a sword and shield unit that Lothlorien really never had before, so it's a cool new unit that we get to see on the field today. They actually cost the same as the Lothlorien Swords Masters, which is just a two-handed sword unit of these guys. So that was something kind of interesting to note. And behind them he's got another elite unit, that being Karas Galadhound's Guardians, which is definitely the best unit, the best pike unit in the game, I should say. However, they are low in numbers, so they can get surrounded at least somewhat. Well, if you're not careful, they can get surrounded pretty easily, especially by any orc factions. And back here he's got some more archers, that being 2 units of Lothlorien standard archers. These guys are not bad for heavy archers. Being heavy archers, they don't have as much ammo, but they can weather arrows a little bit better than their lightly armored archers. He also could have some elven javelins around here somewhere, but we will just have to see. I don't know about that for sure, because I haven't like looked through this battle or anything like that. I was just sent to it, and I am commentating it right now. But anyway, without any further ado, we'll go ahead and start it off. Right away, we're going to see some nice trebuchet fire from Lord of Belgast. However, looks like Lorien is pretty nicely positioned here behind this rock, so they're not going to have to fear trebuchet, at least that much. His cavalry might, but we'll just have to see. You can see he's actually retreating his Lorien archers a little further back, probably just leaving them there. Well, he probably just deployed them there to put the stakes there to prevent any cavalry from coming around. But again, the Lorien army is of course very, very small, which could prove, which is going to be pretty difficult for him, I think, to be able to take out Cardlin, because Cardlin has a lot of numbers. Not so much quality, but a lot of numbers. Ooh, taking out 3 of those Lorien Mounted Company right there. Something to note about these Lancers right here. They are very expensive. I think like 1,000 florins. You can only bring 2 of them before the price increase. But they are very, very good at what they do. They can just shred through infantry off the charge. You can see he's going to pull them back there, not wanting them to take any more casualties from that trebuchet. Ooh, and then over here you can see that Harad is starting to move forward with his Southron archers, and then he's being his archers are being closely followed by the main infantry corps. Yeah, there we go. He's got 2 units of Hashari Shadows to make up his cavalry force, who are actually a body-piercing mounted archery unit. So they're going to do quite well against the lightly armored troops of Dale. However, Dale is really not that lightly armored over here, except for these Othello Rangers right here, who are also BP. And like all Rangers, they are going to suffer pretty heavily from any ranged fire at all. Ooh, you can actually see Samwise the Brave sending over a unit of wargs here to try to help out his ally. Looks like he's gonna go straight in for these Hashari Stalkers. Which the Hashari Stalkers are pretty much the only high-tier archer unit that Harad can offer, so if he loses them this early, it's going to be very bad. Ooh, you can see the wargs just tearing straight into these Southron archers, who are just going to get butchered from that. You can see some of them are trying to fire at the wargs, but who are actually shaken now. But it's just, ooh, the catapult. Oh man, kind of a good hit right there on those Muhad warriors. Yeah, you can also see the mounted archers of Fabulous Rug marching over here, or well, riding over here. But they are going to get targeted pretty much immediately. You can see they're falling very quickly to this. Horse archers are by no means to be used kind of with your front, like, just rank and file archers, because they're going to get skirmished down very quickly. But because of the superior range, well, I guess superior positioning of Dale, he's really taken very light casualties. Especially, I'm surprised that he's taken so few casualties with his Athal Rangers. But again, I'm assuming that's just because Harad hasn't really been able to fire for very long. I can see those Harad spearmen actually routing off the field. Looks like Lord of Belagos is actually sending over some cavalry over here to chase down... No, I thought those were wards, but no, he's just sending them over there to kind of help out. But yes, also, these Dalian marksmen are going to be incredibly difficult for Harad to skirmish down because they do have some nice armor as well as a good shield bonus. So definitely Harad is just going to have to rush right away because, well, if they want to win, I would assume they're going to have to rush. Because while the Dalian infantry right here is very good, I feel like the AP of Harad would be able to serve them pretty well over here. Especially because they don't want to be taking too many casualties from that catapult. I mean, catapults aren't super accurate anyway, but mainly what he doesn't want to happen is what's happening right now, and that is him just getting totally shot to death. You can see his southern archers already have just been pretty much completely wiped away. Looks like, yeah, he's only got 18 of these Hashari stalkers left over. And they're very expensive, they're like 1,000 florins. But over here, you can see that Isengard and Arthedain have begun their fight. It looks like, yeah, it looks like Samwise the Brave's first wave of veterans has been pretty much completely taken out. These wargs are going to get kind of left out in the open here against these Arthedain men-at-arms, who in prolonged melee will be able to take out those warg riders. Over here, the Denling veterans are in a full fight against these dismounted Fornost Irene Knights. Looks like the trolls have also been committed over here. There's only 2 of them left, actually, though. There's 22 champions of White Hand moving over here as well. I don't know if I mentioned this, but Arthedain also does have 2 units of dismounted Knights of Numinos, who, after a flanking movement, were actually able to rout these Denling veterans who were going after the Arthedain marksmen. So yeah, all around, you can see... Looks like the fight's so far going quite heavily in favor of Arthedain. You can see these Arthedain marksmen are now firing down into the Denling clansmen, who are getting kind of flanked by these Arthedain men-at-arms. But right here, a pretty interesting... Well, yeah, just kind of a bad mistake here. You can see that Donovan left his Fornost Irene Knights here. They're just getting currently shot to death by these Urkai archers. However, there are some Demons of the Desert over here from Fabulous Rug, who, if able to throw their javelins, are going to do a great deal of damage. You can see just... Oh, the body piercing on their javelin just going straight through the clansmen and into those Uruk-hai archers. However, a good portion of them are getting up. You can actually see some Snaga skirmishers coming out of hiding. Uruk-hai crossbows are actually over here as well. Let's see what they're firing at. I'm assuming they're going to be targeting some of the higher tier stuff, but we'll just have to see. Ooh, yeah, it looks like they were targeting these dismounted Fornost Irene Knights, who definitely have not been doing too well. There's only 12 of them remaining. See, Donovan's actually having to commit to his 2 units of dismounted Knights of Numinos. Yeah, you can see all around. Oh, there's the standard Hashari actually coming out of hiding. But yeah, looks like Isengard is kind of starting to pull this back in their favor. But I mean, the battle line over here is just completely all over the place. You can see that there's some champions of the White Hand running around, cycle charging into the back of these units. Yeah, going right into those dismounted Dunedain Knights. Gonna do a big amount of damage there. But they are getting surrounded by the Royal Court of House Amlath. However, it looks like the champions of the White Hand are going to be able to get out of there before getting rear charged by the Fornost Irene defenders. Well, actually, no. They were kind of rear charged, but not a great deal of damage was done to them. Uruk-hai Berserkers over here now fighting against these Arnorian forces. Uruk Reavers are also over here. But yeah, some nice teamwork so far. Looks like Demons of the Desert, as well as those Hashari that are somewhere around here, were able to sneak around to help out Arnor, who is starting to struggle quite heavily. Yeah, there's the second unit of Hashari. Oh man, this is exactly what the Hashari are not made for. Just getting shot point blank by so many skirmishers is not going to be very good for them, because they do not have they're not very well armored, and they don't have shields or anything like that. But there goes the Uruk-hai General, actually. That is definitely not going to be good for the morale at all. Dismounted Dunedain Knights doing quite well, but then again, that is unsurprising considering how elite they are. And the Archer Fire of the Arthedain Marksmen is kind of bringing things pretty close over here. Because I was going to say that with the Uruk Reavers and Berserkers over here, I would definitely expect the Isengarders to win against these Spearmen, who are actually shaken, but because of the skirmish fire, it actually is turning out to be quite close, because the Uruk-hai Berserkers are similar to the Wargs in that they have very low armor. However, they do have hit points to kind of help them out. However, getting shot constant like this, they will end up falling. Only one troll remaining. Ooh, yeah, over here the Urkai archers and Urkai crossbows. Looks like they cleaned up the rest of that unit of Hashari. Over here, those Hashari are actually about to be committed over here against these this other unit of Urkai archers. Demons of the Desert running around as well. Looks like Dale is actually going to be moving forward now. And also this whole time, Cardalin and the elves have just been kind of skirmishing each other. Mostly, I think it's just been the Trebuchet doing stuff. Ooh. Yeah, the Muhad warriors getting shot point blank kind of over here. Mercenary cavalry completely routed off the field. Looks like, yeah, so it does indeed look like Lord Vel'Goth tried to send over some cavalry over here, but the skirmishing power of the forces of Dale, as well as these horse guard, looks like they were able to take out most of that cavalry. Ooh, the horse guard charging straight into these spearmen. Gonna do a good deal of damage, however, if they are stuck in there for a prolonged amount of time, they will take a lot of losses, because those are AP spears all around. You can see that Dale just rushing forward, being out of ammo, I assume, with both catapult and archers. He's just going to kind of rush headlong into these forces. Not a bad idea, but it's going to be very difficult to break down those Southron pikemen. You can see his Blackshot Dragon Slayers are over there as well. And now Harad is going to also try to countercharge, get a nice charge bonus off onto those Swordmasters of Karnan. Something I should also mention is that the Earls of Esgaroth are a very cost-effective unit. They're kind of a higher tier Lake Town infantry, basically. You can bring 3 of them before the price increase, and they cost around 900 florins. So the Demons of the Desert now coming back over here. Ooh, and they're going to get a very nice javelin volley off straight into these Earls of Esgaroth, and maybe the Swordmasters of Karnan as well. Oh yes, just leveling that entire unit of Earls, killing about half the unit in one javelin volley. Also going into these Lake Town infantry, just proving how deadly body-piercing javelins can be. These are also some of the highest tier javelins in the game, though, so you should be aware of that. However, they are out of javelins now, so they are going to have to be committed in melee. Over here, the brutal fight that's been going on between Isengard and Arthedain is pretty much coming to a close. You can see there's only 18 Nazkai left. Arthedain now... Oh! 83 of the Fornost Arraign defenders routing, actually. I was going to say, looked to me like Arnor kind of had this in the bag because of how much they had left, but with all the routing, looks like Isengard's still going to be able to do a good deal of damage before they are taken out. Urkai crossbows now being attacked by the dismounted Dunedain Knights, but all around, I definitely do think that the Isengarders are going to lose this fight, because Arthedain still does have a large amount of archers left, as well as a decent amount of infantry. But we should go over here now. You can see over there, by the way, that Cardalin is starting to march around. Trollmen going to be committed over here, because you can see that the infantry fight is beginning. It has definitely begun. You can see Barding Herd trying to take out these Trollmen of Harad. Trollmen of Harad are AP, however, they're going to have a tough time against the Halberds, who should be able to keep them at a good range. Ooh! The cavalry of Lorien coming over here, charging straight into the back of those Trollmen of Harad. It actually looks like, yes, it does indeed. It looks like Lorien is coming over here to kind of double team against Harad. I'm assuming they're just going to try to come over here and crush Harad before Cardalin is able to get over here to help out his ally. So definitely a interesting play here. Horse archers, now that they're not getting targeted, should do much better. However, he did lose his second unit of horse archers already. So yeah, the Elves of Lorien definitely doing a good job, because elsewhere it looks like Dale is struggling quite heavily. You can see over here the Demons of the Desert kind of getting cut down pretty quickly now that they are kind of away from the rest of their units. They aren't being given any support. However, there's also a unit of Trollmen right here. It looks like they're going straight for the catapult, maybe? No, looks like not. Trebuchet firing as well. Ooh, taking out a big portion of the Sindar archers and Lorien archers, as well as maybe some of those Karas Galadhon guardians. Yeah, now that Lorien is over here, looks like Harad is probably going to lose. However, Cardalin is on its way over here to try to help out. Yeah, these Trollmen are having a very difficult time against these Barding Herd, who are just keeping them at bay. However, these Southron pikemen, because they are in a nice block formation, they are able to do a good deal of damage. But looks like over here, most of Isengard has been taken out. Yeah, looks like there's just some crossbows Oh, actually, crossbows and archers kind of cutting down these dismounted units who are kind of starting to get surrounded. They're really unsupported right here. However, there are some archers possibly firing. Yeah, it looks like there's the marksmen coming over here, as well as some maybe some defenders. No. Snaga skirmishers are also over here, just throwing their javelins straight into the back of those poor dismounted Knights of Numas, who are actually shaken, just proving that even elites can sometimes rout. Being just having javelins thrown straight into their backs is not going to do wonders for their morale. Over here, it looks like the Troma, yeah, did in fact go after the catapult crew, cutting down a large number of them. However, they now are again unsupported, now getting cut down from the by the Dalian marksmen, as well as the Blackshot Dragon Slayers, and now some Lorien blades as well. Yes, here are the javelins. The oh, okay, I was gonna say their name, but no, I think not. I need to practice their names before I attempt those. Also, I should mention that another reason why I do like Lorien is they have some of the easiest unit names to pronounce by far. Them and Linden have probably the easiest names to pronounce. And I just love I just love like the gold with the blue. Looks very nice. The Dragon Slayers are now out of ammo, but they are going to do very well in melee as well. You can see they've just whipped out their huge swords. Over here, Harad, yeah, definitely starting to struggle now. But they have done a great deal of damage, but it's just going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. It's just going to be really down to if Cardolin has enough units left over to actually be able to take out the remaining forces of Dale and the very healthy forces of Lorien. Because I do think that it pretty much looks like Donovan and Samwise the Brave have pretty much just completely taken each other out. So their remaining units aren't going to be very important to the overall feel of this battle. You see the archers just firing down. Ooh! Yeah. Good hit right there on those Sindar archers by the trebuchet. And it looks like Harad has been completely defeated. I want to take a look over here really quickly just before the main fight begins between Dale, Cardolin, and Lorien. Ooh. Last of the Nazca actually engaged in melee against the Arthedain marksmen, who looked like they were just kind of shooting the remaining Isengard forces. Oh! Again, those Fornost Irain defenders trying to flank around these crossbows, but breaking immediately from some fire arrows from Samwise the Brave, who actually, yeah, these Uruk-hai archers are actually routing now as well. Yeah, it's going to be pretty close. The Arthedain must have lost his general because of all this, because of just the sheer amount of routing that has happened upon him. But no, actually the general is here. He's just kind of away from his troops. But anyway, we'll take a look back now over here. Definitely looks like, oh, yeah. Cardolin has fully engaged in the melee. You can see his Greenwatch garrison have already taken a ton of losses, but again, that's because they are low tier. He's getting surrounded now by a lot of units from both the Elves and Dale. However, elsewhere he is doing quite well. These pikes are going to be able to hold for a long time, especially against the low tier stuff like the Greenwatch garrison. But that trebuchet has definitely done a very good job of damaging the forces of, oh my, I don't know, that was a huge amount of friendly fire. I think that was into mostly the Kariska Ladhan's Guardians, but looks like it might have taken out some of the swordsmen there as well. Elven Javelins are here too. But yeah, the trebuchet definitely has paid for itself so far, doing a nice job taking out the enemy units. Aaronborn Axemen trying to fight against these Dalian marksmen, but just getting shot in the flank over and over now by these Elven archers, which is going to be very bad for them, because they are, as it is, very weak to missiles anyway. See Dale trying to sneak some units back over here to silence these very deadly Cardolin crossbows. However, in the advance, they're probably just going to get shot to death because the crossbows of Cardolin are incredibly good. Ooh, it's looking very even so far between Cardolin and the Elves and Men of Dale. Very close. You can see the Kariska Ladhan's Guardians still holding on strong despite being rather surrounded. You can see they're actually going to get backed up now by some Sindar archers. Ooh, yeah, there go the Miniscarithalan swordsman routing. Looks like the javelins have now run out of ammo. Ooh, yeah, it's going to be very, very close. Oh, yeah, and just like that, it looks like pretty much all of Lord of Belgot's infantry has been completely taken out, except for way back here he's got some Dunedain captains, his general's unit, and those 2 units of Gwathlo archers. He also does have his large amount of crossbows, which he actually seems to be retreating. Yeah, he has been soundly beaten over here by the combined forces of Lorien and Dale, so it looks like he is in fact going to retreat with the few units he has remaining. Maybe to try to get up on a hill to at least give him a little bit better position to fire down from. Ooh, yeah, so far it's been a bloody, bloody fight. And over here, it looks like maybe, yeah, it looks like finally Arthur Dane has been able to take out Isengard. You can see he's marching over his archers now. These Fornosti Rain defenders finally back from routing. Yeah. So, but both Arthur Dane and Isengard were able to do a huge amount of damage to each other. So I don't know if Arnor really has enough to be of a lot of help. To be a lot of help to Carlin. This is going to be very, very close. You can see actually right here. Oh. Ooh, yeah. Donovan kind of throwing away his general's unit right there, trying to charge into these Dragon Slayers, but looks like he actually was able to take out a few of them out from the charge, but the Dragon Slayers are by no means bad in melee, so they were able to cut down pretty much all that was left of those Royal Court, except for the general and 1 other bodyguard. So yeah, Dale has not a ton of units left. Lorien also has taken a lot of losses, but they do have a good number of elites left as well, like the Karskalad Guardians, as well as his nobles. Ooh, yeah. Oh, he's actually advancing with some of his troops, but this may just be a micro mistake, because it's really not a very good idea to ever just kind of advance in waves, in like small waves like this, especially when your enemy doesn't have very many units left anyway. So hopefully he will pull them back. But we'll just have to see. Oof, yeah. Just bodies everywhere. Cardlin tried to help out, but he unfortunately just came a little bit too late. And so he just kind of got double teamed, just like Harad did. Harad did do a very nice job though. And oh man, it was such a joy to see those Demons of the Desert come around here on the perfect flank and just take out half that unit of Earls, as well as a large portion of these infantrymen there as well. That was just very fun to see. You can see that the Elves and Men of Dale are actually turning to face Arnor first. Oh, someone actually just admitted defeat. I'm assuming that was either Harad or Isengard. Yeah, see that Arthur Dane is actually going to retreat. They don't want to face the remaining forces left because they wouldn't be able to pretty much do any damage to them. However, it looks like they might actually get charged down by these remaining forces of Dale and Lorien. I think I'll go ahead and speed this up now. Just at least until we get into a little bit of a engagement. Yeah, you can see that the Elves of Lorien are marching now. The Lorien archers are now in range. I'm going to begin firing down on these poor Arthur Dane marksmen who are just not going to be able to stand up to that pretty much at all. There are still actually 3 Nazkai left. So that must not have been Sam as the Brave who admitted defeat. Otherwise these guys would not have been fighting still. Obviously. Yeah, Nazkai, really a very high tier unit. Just proving their worth there. Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and speed up this kind of last stand of Arnor, and we'll kind of get to the main fight. Oh, Catapult actually of Dale still does have some ammo remaining. Not a lot of Sylvan Spears left. Looks like most of the mainline infantry of Lorien has been taken out, that being the Spears. He still does have a number of Lorien Blades, but for most of his like just mainline infantry, it's pretty much all gone by now. Arthur Dane marksman just kind of running around. Oh, there's only one Nazca left, almost getting taken out by that catapult. But yeah, if the catapult's able to get a good hit on these 4 terrain defenders, that's going to pretty much take out the entire unit because it's in shield wall. Not to mention the fact that it's wavering, so if it gets hit at all, it's probably just going to instantly rout. Arthurian Marksman routing. Over here, Arthurian Marksman going to be no match for these Lorien archers, who, like most Elven archers, are going to be very good in melee because a good portion of Elven archers do have actually two-handed swords in melee. Actually, not a good portion, but a few of them do. However, it looks like most all of the ammo of Lorien and Dale has been spent, or their archers are all dead. I know the Dragon Slayers are out of ammo. It looks like these guys are also out of ammo because they have pulled out their swords, and both of these units of archers are out of ammo at all, or out of ammo as well. Apologies. Yeah, Arnor has just pretty much been routed off the field now. But these Lorien elves are probably going to give chase, at least for a while, definitely to make sure that the Arnor units do not come back to help out Carlin, who has set up his last stand kind of over here. Which this is going to prove very close, I feel, because Lord of Belgast has a ton of archers left. He still has all 2 units of crossbows remaining, 2 units of archers, and his bodyguard unit of archers as well. He's got a lot of skirmishing power remaining, so he should... It's going to be very interesting to see how this turns out because... Oh, there goes the Arnor General. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting because both Dale and Lorien no longer have any archers left, so it's going to be very close. It's really just going to be a matter of how long these crossbows and archers are going to be able to fire before being engaged in melee, I feel. Trebuchet going to march back as well, get into a position so they can actually fire before getting taken out. And man, I just really love these Dunedain captains. They just look very cool. Especially with the armor upgrades, so they actually have full plate armor. Hearthguard of Amansul also look very nice. Gwathlo trackers have been hidden pretty much all game. Yeah, I don't know actually if they do have BP. I'm assuming they do, but I could be wrong about that. And there goes Arnor, I assume, admitting defeat. And yes, you can see the forces of Dale marching over here. But he's being unsupported by his ally. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say it would be very unwise of them to attack one at a time. But again, it's not gonna be very fun for the elves and Men of Dale. You can actually see the one remaining Nazca here charging forward. Let's see if he's actually able to get a shot off, or if he's just going to, or let's see if he's actually going to be able to get in melee, or if he's just going to get shot to death right away. Yes, run! Run, Nazca. You can kill some before you die. Ooh. Some rotting meat being fired by the trebuchet. Oh, okay, yeah. He's okay. Oh. Looks like all 4, maybe 5 units of archers are firing at the... Yeah, he's dead. Looked like all 5 of the archers were firing at him. Oh. Yeah, it looks like definitely Dale and Lorien are kind of being... well, understandably being reluctant about attacking this very well-defended hill. But again, that's unsurprising because, I mean, just the amount of skirmish power that Lord of Belgast has left is definitely what's making this close, because it's within 5%, so quite a close battle. Lorien going to come around this way, looks like, and Dale's going to just kind of come from the other side. But yes, now that he does know that the elves and Men of Dale don't have any archers left, there's no reason to be in loose formation. Trebuchet crew of Lord of Belgast just gonna charge out, try to take out these catapult crew of Dale who are retreating. So yeah, a little bit of an interesting play there. Oh man, it's too bad that the Trebuchet no longer has any ammo, because it'd be so good just to fire into this blob of elven troops here. Now, looks like the elves are very, very reluctant about marching forward. I believe Lord of Belgast said that there was quite a lot going on in the chat at this moment. That I'm assuming you would know what it would be about. Okay, yes, here we go. Now you can see that bar, now that you can make... Goodness, if I can speak. The Men of Dale have come into range now, so the crossbows are going to be in open fire. Are going to begin to open fire. Dunedain Captain is going to march forward to try to slow down the advance of the Men of Dale. Hearthguard of Amansul are also firing. Looks like they were trying to target those Earls of Esgaroth. Yeah, here come the Dunedain captains going after the archers who are going to retreat. Ooh. Yeah, you can see this Barding herd really struggling because of the crossbow, point-blank crossbow fire. You can see that the elves a little bit behind the their allies, so Dale's gonna have some pretty horrible struggles over here. Dunedain captains very good in melee, but kind of taking a lot of friendly fire there. Oh, but for the most part, it's definitely worth it, because all these Dale troops are just getting absolutely mown down by the crossbows. Yeah, like 10 infantry routing. Trebuchet crew actually doing a good job of holding the line here, at least for a portion of time. Oh, and these poor javelins, man. Just anything that the remaining elves and Men of Dale are pushing forward is just getting absolutely shot to death. Yeah, you can see. Unfortunately, because the elves did not march forward at the same time as their allies, they are in fact attacking in waves, which is just going to be very good for Lord of Belagos, because that means he can just target pretty much elves archers just on just a few units, rather than having to make each one target a different unit. But oh, the unshielded Lorien archers going to get absolutely murdered by the crossbows and Gwathlo trackers as well. Oof. Definitely not looking too good. Yeah, just the amount of skirmishers left that, well, the amount of skirmishers that Lord of Belagos left may actually be able to win him the victory here. We'll just have to see. Dunedain captains did a good have been doing a good job holding line here. However, against the Blackshot Dragon Slayers, it's going to be very, very difficult for them to take these guys out. So he's definitely going to need to focus some skirmish fire over here against those Blackshot Dragon Slayers. Ooh, actually looks like some of the Lorien archers are going to be able to make it to the Oh, they shot the javelin, I was going to say. But yeah, looks like these Minith sharpshooters have now been engaged in melee by the Lorien archers, who are actually shaken. But again, the Minith archers, or crossbows, sharpshooters, aren't going to be bad in melee. They do have a mace, which makes them AP. But I mean, because elves aren't that heavily armored anyway, it's not going to be a huge amount of... it won't be a huge advantage, but still. Actually, it wasn't, but the Lorien archers were routed. Oh, okay, you can see these guardians about to open fire. Looks like maybe into the Blackshot Dragons, no, into the archers, but because of this, he was not able to actually get a volley off into these Lorien blades. However, the Gwathlo trackers may be firing. No. Maybe he's running low on ammo and he wants to wait to fire at something like the Galadrim Nobles or Karis Galadhan Guardians. Ooh, no, he's firing straight into those Lorien blades. Ooh, that's going to be painful. Yeah, you can see, just getting shot to death. These units are just dropping like flies. The light armor of the elves really showing here. But again, I think it was just very... there have just been interesting plays on both sides, I feel. Over here, the Dunedain captains really, really struggling against the Blackshot Dragon Slayers and the Swordmasters of Karnan. However, it looks like no, I was going to say the Hearthguard were firing, but nope, does not look like it. Yeah, Lorien Blades, 50 of them were able to get in melee now against the Minith sharpshooters. Over here, you can see the Lorien Blades backed up by some Sindar archers are also in melee. Ooh, those javelins are just getting absolutely targeted. But yeah, these Minotaur Roman guards will be able to hold here reasonably well because they are a halberd, maybe a pike unit actually. It looks like from their animations they might be a pike unit. So they will be able to hold here pretty long. Yeah, just the constant skirmishing fire going on right now is proving very, very troublesome for these elves, because it looks like for the most part all of Dale has been taken out, except for those few Blackshot Dragon Slayers. Galadrim nobles marching over to help out the to help take out the last of these captains. Yeah, the captains not gonna have a huge amount of kills numbers wise, but definitely what they did kill was quite quality. Was of quite high quality. Ooh. It looks like actually the Hearthguard are going after the Galadrim Nobles, but I do feel like this is kind of a mistake of him to even try to go after these captains at all. I feel like it would be better had he just charged his Galadrim Nobles straight through his gap into these Hearthguard. But we'll just have to see if it was a costly mistake. You see the Hearthguard now just going to be able to begin firing point blank into these Galadrim nobles. Ooh. Yeah. So the Hearthguard will be able to do okay in melee, but they are spearmen, so they're not going to get a huge amount of kills, especially against these higher tier units, but they should be able to hold for a long time. But again, these Galadrim nobles are also very good in melee, so it's going to be very close. Over here you can see the Miniscarithlan Sharpshooters just getting wrapped around by these Lorien Blades, just proving how really strong the Lorien infantry is once it is able to actually get in the fight. But over here these Minotaur Roman Guardians really proving that they were worth the cost just because of how long they've been holding right here. Not only were they able to take out all of the Cinder Archers, but they're actually doing a good job against these Karaskalatan's Guardians as well. But then again, there also is the fact that there is just the constant skirmishing fire of these units of Gwathlo Trackers there as well. One unit of the Gwathlo Trackers is actually firing straight into the flank of these Lorien Blades. Not a bad idea at all. And over here, these Hearthguard are getting surrounded on all sides now by Blackshot Dragon Slayers, as well as Galadrim Nobles. Ooh, so Cardinal may lose his general here, which is, if he does, may end up being the battle right there, because certainly if he lost his general, something like these 24 Miniscarithlan Sharpshooters would rout, and maybe even these Minotaur Roman Guardians, but the Minotaur Roman Guardians are of kind of higher tier quality, so they would be able to hold for a while longer, even with the loss of the general, I would assume. Two Swordmasters of Karn going out here, going to try to silence these Gwathlo Trackers before the Trackers are able to fire their volleys into the back of these units. What? We'll have to see if they're able to get their first volley off before they are engaged in melee. Yes, I would say they were able to get their volley off. They just fired straight into those poor Swordmasters. But yeah, there goes the actually, yeah, that looks like it was the yeah, it was definitely the Cardinal in general. The Hearthguard are actually shaken now, maybe thinking about routing. Still 18 remaining Blackshot Dragon Slayers, 49 Nobles. So it's very, very close. However, it looks like most of these, yeah, all the blades have been taken out now by the Miniscarithlan Sharpshooters, who, while they are quite reduced, they still were able to do a good deal of damage against the Nobles just by firing into the back of them, because they are, of course, crossbows. And over here, the last of these Lorien units are slowly but surely getting poked to death by the Guardians. There are still the two units of Gwathlo Trackers. So while I do think, while it was a close battle, I do think that Cardinal will be able to pull this one off. But again, a very, very, very close battle. You can see pretty much, yeah, Hearthguard actually routing the remaining few of them that are left. Oh, and then just all around, these unshielded units are just getting peppered down by arrows and crossbow bolts. Oh, Gwathlo Trackers might have to run away because they're 18 Blackshot Dragon Slayers would be able to take out just so many of these Gwathlo Trackers. So he may have to run them away if he doesn't want to lose like most of that unit. Ooh, over here you can see the Miniscarithlan Sharpshooters now being charged by the Galadrim Nobles. Some remaining units of Sylvan Spears coming over here. Gonna try to, yeah, looks like they're gonna try to just keep these Minotaur Roman Guardians from firing. Just gonna try to keep them engaged in melee, but I don't know how well it's going to work out for them because they are just so low. Those spearmen are so low in numbers. Probably not going to be able to hold for very long, especially against the halberds. Oh, yeah, and these Gwathlo Trackers just firing straight into the nobles, who did take out the remaining sharpshooters quite quickly. But again, that's unsurprising. Yeah, and over here the Blackshot Dragon Slayers just mowing, just butchering these poor Gwathlo Trackers. But again, just the constant fire, I think, from the remaining skirmishers of Cardinal will probably be able to win today. But again, it was an insanely close battle. You can see right now it's 94 to 98% now within 4%. Ooh, I definitely think he should run away his Gwathlo Trackers, because his Gwathlo Trackers would certainly get taken out by the 24 Nobles. So, oh wait, actually it looks like he's not even going to have to worry about that, because it looks like the Nobles are going to go out instead going to go after these Minotaur Roman Guardians, who definitely I think would be the higher tier priority to take out, because the crossbows are always going to have more damage than the standard archers. Oh, looks like he has run out of ammo now with his archers. So we're just going to go ahead and recharge these Galadriel nobles, who, being surrounded, will probably fall. Will fall. They still will be able to take out a decent amount of the Gwatho trackers before going down, though. They are, of course, very high tier. But yeah, just being completely surrounded like this, looks like this is going to be the end of Haldir. And let's see how many Blackshot Dragon Slayers there. There's still 17 Blackshot Dragon Slayers left. Just absolutely destroying this poor unit of Gwatho trackers. Oh man, but yeah, as soon as these two units here are freed up, Cardinal will be able to just surround those Blackshot Dragon Slayers, who will end up having the same fate as these nobles. Also, something I guess I could mention right now is that this is in-game. The time of day right now is sunset. Sunset and sunrise are probably my two favorite in-game times to fight battles. I just think it's kind of cool to be fighting them at that time instead of just the standard like midday and stuff. I'll just speed this up a little bit because this is just kind of like a last stand. Yep, and there goes Haldir getting poked by one of those guardians. Yeah, and there goes the last of the nobles. So these two units are going to now come over here to help out this unit of Gwatho trackers that has just been getting butchered by the Blackshot Dragon Slayers. Bard is actually still alive. Surprisingly enough, Dale was able to have the last amount of troops on the field. So the Dragon Slayers are trying to maybe retreat. No, they're just gonna fight. So I'll go ahead and put it up to 6 times for now. Yeah, I can see the Guardians over here as well as that second unit of trackers. And that's going to be it for Dale. A very close battle. Very fun one to commentate over. And there goes Bard. Ooh, yeah, 96 to 100%. Very, very close. Within 4%. Only 5 Dragon Slayers remaining. Indeed it could have. That was an insanely close battle. Most kills for Belgost's team goes to Fabulous Rug, getting 1400, being closely followed by Donovan, who is not that far ahead of Lord of Belgost. Looks like the most kills went here to Happy Eagle with 1900 for that other team. We'll take a quick look at the exact casualties. Yeah, so the Hearthguard only getting 29 kills, but again, most of the stuff that they were fighting against was very high tier. Minotaur Roman Guardians getting 221. One of the units of sharpshooters only got 12. I think that was one that got taken out in the first engagement against Dale and Lorien. Second unit though getting 164 kills. Tharbad Riders, the rest of the cavalry is doing okay. Trebuchet got 104 kills. Swordsman did not bad either. And the Greenrush Garrison Spearmen just did their job. The Dunedain Captain's actually getting more kills than I expected. More just because of the quality of troops they were having to fight against. Gwatho Trackers getting 88 and 98 kills. And the Aaronborn Axemen getting 9. So we got a very close battle. Very well played, I think, by all sides. So thank you to Lord Belgost for sending it to me. Now for the small kind of channel update, I was just going to say that it was basically kind of trying to talk about my internet a little bit. Mainly the only reason why I haven't been uploading very often is just because of how horrible my internet is. Currently it takes like almost like 2 days to upload a video. That's only like 30 minutes long. So that is why I haven't been uploading very often. However, like I said earlier, it is hopefully going to get fixed sometime soon. So once that does happen, I will be able to actually partake in battles like this, as well as upload more often. So that's pretty much it. So as that is going to be the end of the battle, this is going to be the end of the video. So if you guys did enjoy, please comment, like, and subscribe. If you did not, just tell me what I did wrong, and I'll be sure to fix it for the next video. So guys, farewell wherever you fare, till your eyries receive you at your journey's end.